Welcome. Today we're diving into decision policies in Agent Studio. If you're building plugins to automate tasks like approving PTO requests or writing support tickets, decision policies are your secret weapon for making plugins smarter and adaptable. They allow your plugins to make context-aware decisions, which means better automation and happier users. Let's dive in. Before we jump in, let's look at what you learned today. By the end of this session, you'll understand the purpose and functionality of decision policies. You'll learn the key components of a decision policy, like required slots, cases, and default paths. And you'll learn how to configure them using Moveworks DSL. Most importantly, you'll be ready to apply these policies to create plugins that can handle real-world scenarios like a pro. Decision policies are like the if-then logic in programming, but tailored for your plugins. They evaluate conditions based on data, like how many days someone is requesting off, and then deciding what to do next. For example, a PTO request plugin, a decision policy might approve a request for 5 days or less, send longer requests to a manager, or reject anything over 10 days. This means one plugin can handle multiple scenarios, making your workflow smarter and more efficient. But why use decision policies? First, they boost efficiency by automating decisions that would otherwise require manual intervention. Second, they improve the user experience by providing tailored responses based on the situation. And third, they simplify your development process. One plugin can handle multiple workflows, so you don't need to build separate plugins for every scenario. It's a win-win for both developers and users. Here's how it all comes together. Decision policies use data from slots, like the number of PTO days. They then check conditions written in Moveworks DSL, a simple language for defining rules. If a condition is true, the plugin follows a specific path, like approving the request. If none of the conditions match, it falls back to a default path, ensuring the plugin always knows what to do next. This makes your plugin robust and user-friendly. Every decision policy has three main parts: required slots, cases, and default path. Slots provide the data needed for decision. Cases define the if conditions and what to do when they're true. And the default path handles anything that doesn't fit those conditions. Together, these components make your plugin adaptable and reliable. Configuring a decision policy is straightforward. Let's move on to the Agent Studio app and let me show you how to do it. So in the Agent Studio app, we currently have this activities demonstration process. What this activity does, it has an action that sums the list of numbers. For in this case, this will sum up to 1, 2, 3 will be 6. And then we have a content activity that just showcases this result to the user. But let's add some more logic to it. Let's say if the sum of the numbers is less than 10, we provide a message. If it's more than 20, we provide a different message. But if it doesn't fit those cases, we just provide something else. So in this case, I'm gonna go here to this plus sign, and I'm gonna click on decision policy. So decision policy requires slots, but in this case, we don't have any slots. We're just gonna use the output key of our action activity. But if you did have a slot, you can go ahead and select it here. Now, my first case, my condition is gonna be that the sum of these numbers is less than 10. So I'm gonna write data dot the output key and just do less than 10. And then I can add in this branch or case a new activity, content activity, and say your number is too low. Now we can add another case. So I can go ahead and click this plus sign, and I'm gonna do the same thing I did earlier, data dot the output key bigger than 20. And then I'm gonna add a content activity that says your number is way too high. And then what about any number that's between 10 and 20? So in this default branch or path or case, I'm just gonna add another content activity and say your number is perfect. And I'm also gonna remove this content activity, and that's how you create decision policies. To wrap up, decision policies are your go-to tool for creating smart, adaptive plugins. By using slots, cases, and default paths, you can automate decisions and handle a variety of scenarios with ease. I encourage you to try configuring a decision policy in Agent Studio. Maybe start with a simple PTO request plugin. Keep building and make your plugin smarter. Thanks for watching.